Oh, I knew looking at the camera. Is that where I'm? Okay, I just want to make sure I'm here, bro.
You good now?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, let's get it, bro.
All right. You ready? You ready for this?
Hello, audience.
All right, Couch Potato General Manager back with another video, and we're doing the Washington Redskins Mock Draft for 2020. As you can see, Joe Burrow is already off the board, with Washington having drafted Dwayne Haskins last season. Personally, I'll just speak for myself. I'll let you guys weigh in on it too, but I'll speak for myself. I don't buy the whole, well, let's do the Josh Rosen, Kyler Murray thing here, and go get the Tua or the Herbert. I like Haskins. I think if they invest in him and develop in him, he'll be just fine. Just put the talent around him.
Played behind a poor offensive line, had a lack of weapons. The running game couldn't really get going. It was all bad over there offensively for the Washington Redskins.
We're not discussing quarterbacks here at the top of the first round. We are considering Chase Young, the top pass rusher in this class. But we were also discussing and considering a trade down scenario here. So I want to get you guys' thoughts. Do we go get Chase Young and forget about it? He was a dominant force this season and in seasons past. I think he has more room to grow as a pass rusher. There's obviously a need there in Washington, but should we cash in and get some more picks, considering that we have more needs?
Looking at their front seven, I mean, I don't know. My question is where are you playing Chase Young, and can you get all the talent that you have on the field to so that?
I'm not worried about that, man.
But my thing is can you get all the talent on the field so that everybody's playing, so that you're not wasting anybody's talent, putting people in the best position possible to play and to be on the field. And based off of the talent that they have, I don't know that the Redskins can do that.
So who's the odd man out? If you're putting it that way, who's the odd man out?
It'd be Montez Sweat, either Montez Sweat, the first round pick last season, or Ryan Kerrigan, a veteran on that team that's like a stalwart on that team. Those are the two pass rushers on their roster right now.
Okay, well, we don't expect Kerrigan to play forever, right? And is there any comparison? Is there any legitimate comparison between Chase Young and Montez Sweat?
But he was a first-round pick last year.
I get it. But he's not making $50 million over the course of 7 years. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. See, at number 2 for the Washington Redskins, I think their biggest need is offensive tackle. Trent Williams is not playing another down for that team. So at 2 here, say we go Chase Young, or do we trade down? The Dolphins has multiple first-round picks. They need a quarterback badly. So trade down with them, get a 5 and an 18, and could address offensive tackle and maybe a pass rusher there if you want a pass rusher.
The question then becomes, by trading down, obviously we don't think Chase Young's going to be there at 5. We don't, right? I guess stranger things have happened, but certainly we're not expecting him to be there at 5. So we're willing to take a lesser pass rusher at some point, or no pass rusher for that matter, in order to get one of the top tackles. But there's considerable depth at offensive tackle, which isn't something that's common these days because the college teams aren't necessarily preparing offensive linemen to play at the professional level. But this is a unique draft where there's a ton of offensive tackles, and I think 1 or 2 might be available. Not the Wirfs and the Wills and Becton's, Andrew Thomas's, but I think there are a couple more that at the top of the second round can start for you. No?
I agree. You got the Josh Jones, you got Austin Jacksons, you even got some other sleepers like Pearts and some other guys out there. So definitely a deep offensive tackle class. I agree.
We working it out, right? I'm listening to you saying Chase Young might not be there at 5. I'm looking, unless somebody trades up in front of them after they go after 5. I mean, the Dolphins, are they gonna get Chase Young, or are they gonna go Tua? And if they go Tua, because they're getting their quarterback of the future, now you drop to 4, where now who is that? That would be the
I think the Lions and the Giants will pick Chase Young if they're there.
Absolutely.
I think both of those.
Absolutely.
Listen to me. Just listen to me. Just listen to me for a second. You're probably right, because I know that that ghetto man, he loves the front line, likes the trenches and everything. But I don't know that the Lions will, because they got so much beef up there. They actually need a corner at this point, because they traded their corner, and they would get the best corner in the draft right there at 3, right? So then at 4, it's a possibility, but the Giants also need offensive line. So I'm just saying, I'm just throwing it out there.
Think about it from this perspective. We've worked through the Jimmy Johnson trade value chart. It's not an unreasonable trade, obviously, to go from 2 to get the 5 and the 18 from the Dolphins. At 5, what's the plan at 5?
I like Isaiah Simmons because they need help on the second level. I'd like Okuda because they need help at corner. And I like one of those offensive tackles. I'd even probably wait to 18 to get one of those offensive tackles and secure Isaiah Simmons or an Okuda at 5 if I trade down.
Man, come on. That's so much goodness, man. That's like walking into the pantry and seeing all the cereal that you want to eat, bro. You can't put it all in one bowl. I guess you can.
All the General Mills, huh? All of it.
I mean, you got your Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I mean, I'm a Fruit Loop guy. You know, Frosted Flakes. You can never go wrong with that.
A Fruit Loop
Crunch.
guy.
Yeah, definitely a Fruit Loop guy. Don't tell nobody. But matter of fact, I might have me some when we done here.
Right.
With the almond milk.
All right, man. All right. You talk me into it. You talk me into it. We're gonna pass on the top pass rusher. All right.
Okay.
We're gonna pass on an elite talent for some elite talent.
Yeah.
So,
Elite for elite. I got you.
but just so that our viewers can see the trade chart, and I do want to put the caveat out there, the disclaimer out there that this is Jimmy Johnson's trade chart from the 90s, draft trade chart, and things have changed a little bit, obviously, since Jimmy was wheeling and dealing in drafts, putting together a juggernaut. With the rookie wage scale in place, there's more value in the draft picks now, and the discrepancy from pick to pick has changed a bit. It's not as substantial, so you tend to have to give up more in terms of draft picks to move up, or to get additional draft picks. So let's go ahead and pull in and see how things play out.
2 for the 5 and the 18.
Ready?
Let's do it. Let's see who comes to.
Chase Young gonna be right there at 5, bro.
Nah, I doubt it.
Oh man, it's been accepted. Oh.
Who the Dolphins gonna get?
Let's see.
Tua,
Yeah.
Chase.
There was no chance Chase Young was gonna make it. But Isaiah Simmons is sitting there. So and Jeff Okuda. So you got a decision to make here.
That's a decision there, Drew. Do you want the super athletic sideline to sideline, can do everything linebacker and Isaiah Simmons? Right now, your linebacker are Cole Holcomb and John Bostic, below average. Or do you go get Jeffrey Okuda? Right now, you got Fabian Moreau, and you got the recently signed Kendall Fuller. You drafted Jimmy Moreland last season.
You talked me into it, man. You talked me into it. I'm thinking about who's the head coach over there. Who did he have last year for his line? Who's he had for the past couple of years until he retired? Luke Kuechly. About Isaiah Simmons, this is the type of player that you essentially can put anywhere, and he can do whatever you ask him to do. He's going to do it at a high level, and he can help you put your best players on the field at any given time. It's a movable piece. I like to call him the rover, if I could.
All right, Isaiah Simmons is the pick.
We need a tackle to fall to us.
It might happen. Got one left. Nope. Was it one left?
Nah, they all got taken. The top 4. Let's look at the tackles on the board. The potential. Austin Jackson has that potential, that raw athleticism, but I think Josh Jones is the more technical, savvy offensive tackle.
Can you really leave Jerry Jeudy on the board right there? Can you really do that?
They do need another weapon for Haskins. I know they have Kevin Harmon, Trey Quinn, Terry McLaurin's the starting 1A receiver, but if you put a McLaurin with a Jeudy,
I know that we got to protect the franchise, but I think you got to go Jerry Jeudy here, man. You got to make teams think twice about who they're gonna double cover.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
I like it too, but we need to figure out what we're gonna do to ensure that we get either Josh Jones or Austin Jackson.
I think Austin Jackson will be gone, but Josh
One of them
Jones
will fall. One of them
probably
will
will fall.
Because again,
we
we're
climb back up into the first round.
Nah, we're gonna roll the dice.
Let's roll the dice.
We're gonna just play fast and loose with this thing, huh?
Yeah, man. Figure it out, man. We still got Trent. We still got Trent Williams.
No, we don't. That ship has sailed.
Listen. I know obviously we're in the draft, but Jason Peters is still out there. You know what I mean? I don't know if you want to.
That's not a terrible idea. It's not a terrible
You
idea.
know what I mean?
At the moment that we're doing this mock draft, Jason Peters is a free agent. You're correct.
Yes.
Okay. All right. We'll pull the trigger on Jerry Jeudy. Cross our fingers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I agree though. Jerry Jeudy at this point, particularly on this roster where they need weapons for the young quarterback. I think that's going to be a problem. Jerry Jeudy and a Terry McLaurin coming at you. That's an issue. That's a problem.
That's route runner Haven right there. Route runner Haven.
Mims, Love, Herbert, Diggs, Fulton, McKinney, Queen, Swift. There go Jackson.
Jason Peters, it is, bro.
Damn.
All right. So we're almost midway through the second round.
Mm-hmm.
We still got Lucas Niang, Josh Jones, Isaiah Wilson, and Ben Barch, Matt Pert as well on the board here. Then we pick up the phone and call the Broncos. Because the Broncos have question marks along the offensive line too.
Let's do it, man.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We might have to get up this 108.
Try 142.
142 in the third next year?
Yeah. Nope. Yeah, you might be right. Let's give it up.
Ooh.
You got to give him the third also with it.
Last ditch effort.
Sure.
I think they want the second. I think they want the second round pick in 2021. Oh, there it is.
All right.
Woo.
So we gave up some draft capital next season.
Yes, we did.
Our third and fourth round pick
This
to move up
season.
in the second round.
Yep.
Secure that offensive tackle.
And it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, my two biggest needs left for the Redskins is tight end and cornerback.
You mean Jordan Reed ain't coming back?
I don't think so, man.
No.
No, Jordan's
Day-
out of there.
Yeah,
But
no.
I think there will be options, some upside options, day 3 at the cornerback position. Tight end is a whole different matter.
Yeah, the tight end is light this year. It's about 4 good tight ends, 5 good tight ends. That's about it.
Maybe Thaddeus Moss could fall to us.
I mean, I'm high on both of those two top corners than I am Thaddeus Moss, but it might be just the nature of the position. You know what I mean? And I think with Thaddeus, there's going to be a learning curve, so I don't know if he can be drafted that high.
I mean, I feel like a lot of the times it's one of those deals where it's you're just trying to see what sticks at tight end because you just don't know. You know, coming from the collegiate ranks, the tight ends, the way that they're deployed often, I mean, outside of, playing at one of the very few institutions that run a prototypical offense, it's very difficult to find a guy who's gonna be able to, you can plug in and he'll hit the ground running. That just doesn't happen. So it's do you have enough confidence in Moss to take him here, or do you wait another 20 picks or so to see if he's still on the board? Beyond Thaddeus Moss at the tight end position, who would we consider?
You got Jacob Breland from Oregon, and you got Jared Pickney, who's an athletic tight end. Get the ball in his hands, and he could do some damage. So those are the two tight ends I'm looking at right there.
Yeah, Pickney was one of my top tight ends going in, but Thaddeus got a little bit more spice in his game. I mean, if I'm going tight end, I'm going Thaddeus. But if I had, if I had to pick a different position, it's going to be corner.
All right, and I believe we're all fans of Bryce Hall. Headley is bullish on Bryce Hall. Thinks he's a day one talent. Headley, what do you think about that 2018 tape?
Yeah, man, it was excellent, man. He had very patient feet. But what I like about him the most is what he does in zone coverage, using his length. He can come up and tackle, get the ball at the highest point. So definitely he'll be a fit in Washington. Kendall Fuller back in the in the rotation to go along with Fabian Moreau and Jimmy Borland, who was a day 3 steal last season.
And obviously, playing in Virginia, the Washington scouts, front office, they should be really familiar with Bryce Hall. Again, I think the injury is what's depressed his value, having not been able to play in 2019. But the upside is there, and it is a position of need. And when we take a look at all the players on the board, I think Hall is among the best at this juncture.
Agreed.
Yeah, I can't object. I mean, we saw Michael OJ Moody. Is it OJ Moody? I said that right? Yeah, OJ Moody. Saw him at the Senior Bowl, and I'm looking forward to seeing him kind of show out and show up. He was kind of inconsistent with that. So, I all right, man. I guess we're going Bryce Hall, man. That's
The local
conviction, man.
Let's Bryce Hall, man. Let's do it, man. I'm not saying it with conviction because I'm a little disappointed in OJ. That's all.
I got you.
tight end still on the board.
Thaddeus is there.
Just
Made
do
the
it.
right decision.
Yes.
Go with Thaddeus Moss here in the 5th round.
I love it when a plan comes together.
So at this point, fellas, what are we considering?
I think you could get some more offensive line help.
Yeah, I'm not gonna object to that.
Maybe a
You guys
pass
be
rush.
opposed to maybe going back to the well at tight end?
Well, you got Jeremy Sprinkle there. I think Sprinkle and Moss together forms a nice little duo right there.
All right. Sprinkle is an extension of your offensive line. That's for sure.
How do you feel about Trey Adams? I know he was high on a lot of people's boards at the beginning of before the college season started. And I know, and he did get hurt. So I think
the issue with Trey Adams is the injury history. I think he's a talented guy, but his ability to move, his ability to stay healthy are some question marks. He might benefit from being moved inside, to be perfectly honest with you, because the injuries may have had some limitations in terms of his athleticism.
So what do they always say? Start him out at tackle, and if it don't work out, move him in the guard. So, I mean, you got a plan for that guy. Again, we can go back to 6th, 7th round picks where you're taking flyers on guy. You can go fastest, the strongest, a guy who fell that shouldn't have fallen. Or in this case, he fell because of injuries. So why not go with a Trey Adams?
High upside.
We're back on the clock.
They're going to center for you right there.
Josh Metellus. Throckmorton is actually a tackle, but it appears that they're moving him inside. He can't play tackle at the pro level. He's not agile enough. He's not quick enough. The speed rush is going to eat him up.
How about Lamar Jackson?
All right, why Lamar?
Physical. He's long, physical. He fits the mold of that cover 3 corner. And he looked most comfortable when he was jamming folks, but he wasn't the most athletic. He's not a quick twitch athlete from what I saw at the Senior Bowl and when I saw him on tape. So cover 3 scheme might benefit him best.
Yeah, I think the main question with Lamar Jackson is technique and long speed. He didn't run particularly well at the combine, but he's a huge corner. So he can certainly match up with the bigger receivers in short areas, and then also the tight ends. I actually see him eventually transitioning to safety. I think he's more of a safety, but he does have rare size and physicality for the position. So I don't hate that particular pick. Where else would we consider?
Sean Davis in free agency. So they got Davis and Landon Collins and DeShazer Everett backing them up, and Troy Apke also.
Okay, so
they got a good core. It's a good strong core.
I think a guy to consider would be DJ Wonnum and Nick Coe. If you want to add a little bit more punch in terms of your pass rush, these are guys who can bend the edge. You mentioned Taylor Drew. I actually like another inside backer. I know there's question marks at the second level of this defense. I like Muhammad Berry. I think he shows up with bad intentions.
I was thinking linebacker.
Off the ball, or are you talking about somebody who can bend that edge?
Off the ball.
Okay.
Well, we did draft Isaiah Simmons.
We did, but do we need to pair him with somebody else, or do we need to at least inject somebody else into that mix?
All right, Drew.
Wrap it up.
Recap it.
Sorry, man.
Recap.
I was too close. I didn't realize I I could actually make it closer, bro. I've been like bringing it to my face, and I ain't got to do all that. Y'all didn't tell me, bro.
He didn't tell you how to use your phone. All right.
Yeah, bro. I mean, what's really going on, bro?
Oh, okay. All right, bro.
All right, man. So in this Redskins draft, the Washington Redskins draft, they have the second pick overall. Obviously, we traded down. We used the Jimmy Johnson chart. It's a little outdated, but it had us trade with the Dolphins. We traded down to the 5th pick, got the 15th and the 18th pick from them. I would imagine, Washington fans will be happy with these first 2 picks. Able to get Isaiah Simmons. I was asking earlier, could this be the Luke Kuechly for this defense that, Ron Rivera obviously had Luke Kuechly for years. And so now we added Isaiah Simmons, who's versatile, who's a player who can allow you to add or bring any player on the field because he can change his position at a moment's notice. And I think you would do a disservice to him if you're not using him in that fashion, obviously. So, and then with the 18th pick overall, we were kind of debating who would go here, but then I was like, hey, just let me see the highest player on the board at that point, and it was Jerry Jeudy. So, hey, you can't pass that up. You pair him up with the Ohio State receiver. What's his name? I forgot already. Perry. There we go. Pair him up with the route runner that he is. And now you added Jerry Jeudy, who's also a route runner. I don't know who the defenses are going to double team when we talk about those 2 receivers. And you have Harmon as well. And then in is that the 4th round, the 46th pick? Or was that the 3rd round?
Second round. We traded up to the 2nd round.
Okay,
second round.
Well, you math that.
Oh, no, my bad. I was thinking we didn't have a 2nd round pick. My bad.
We didn't.
Traded up.
We didn't.
We traded up into the 2nd round. What we give up? What did we end up giving up?
We gave up this year's 3rd, 4th, and then the 2021 3rd as well.
We gave up some booty to protect the franchise in Dwayne Haskins, not Kyle Allen, and getting the tackle from Houston. It's a big debate between who traded with the Broncos, correct?
Yep.
To get that done. So, we got to make sure we protect the franchise. I was willing to roll the dice, but the 2 others in the draft, the war room said no. All right, so in the 4th round with the 142nd pick, we went ahead and we got Bryce Hall. It was too rich for our blood not to get this guy. He can play man, he can play zone, but I, obviously think he's a better zone corner. And, being in the cover 3 scheme, the Ron Rivera scheme, why not? And then we were debating even, with the 6th round pick, could we go and or with the 4th round pick, could we go and get Thaddeus Moss? But we decided, hey, you know what? We'll wait on that. We'll roll the dice. So we rolled the dice, and guess what? It was a 7. It was an 11. Call it what you want. We got Thaddeus Moss because we need a tight end. Obviously, Jordan Reed is no longer there. And then we doubled down with the 216 pick when he got a Trey Adams. He was plagued with injuries, but this is a shot in the dark. To see if he can play, see if we can get him out there. And if it doesn't work out at tackle, we can move him into guard. And then again, with the 229th pick, we went out and we got a Muhammad Berry from Nebraska, inside linebacker. Headley you were hating on the inside linebackers earlier, so we went ahead and we got you a linebacker to pair with, or just to be in the room with. Obviously, he was the last pick that we have, so we'll see what happens there. But this is a guy who's bringing hats to the party, if you will.
Headley, outside of the 2 first-round picks, well, the top 3 picks, I should say, because we believe that Josh Jones is a first-round caliber player. Which pick do you like the most?
I'm gonna go back to Bryce Hall, man. Bryce Hall's my guy. we might
end up drafting Bryce Hall in all the drafts, bro. All of them.
He's gonna be in the 4th, 5th round every time.
If he keep falling.
Let me switch it up then, man. Let's go Thaddeus Moss, tight end.
I think it's the value, because we were able to grab Bryce Hall, and because we were contemplating, okay, we have a question mark at tight end. Thaddeus Moss is the best tight end on the board. But we also staring at this Bryce Hall guy that shouldn't be on the board. We were able to get Hall, but then we still got Moss at great value.
Yeah, I think those back-to-back picks, I think that was done excellently. Thaddeus Moss, man, he's the son of Randy Moss. So that's all you really got to know about this guy, man. Athletic. He wasn't used as much in the LSU passing offense. They spread the ball out a lot, had a lot of weapons out there, but he's definitely a talented tight end that compare with Jeremy Sprinkle.
All right, that's going to do it for the Washington Redskins 2020 NFL Mock Draft.